Today we'll be discussing the communication model, a concept that will appear on every single test that you take in this class. For this idea of the communication model, it helps us to understand the communication process. It's the basis of everything that we do. The first part of the communication model is the sender. The sender creates or encodes a message that they want to send. The idea of encoding is you try to figure out in your brain first exactly what words or images you want to use. And then that allows you to send the message. That message is what is the idea you want to get across. This message then must travel through the third part, or the medium. The medium can be anything that helps transmit the message. It can include things like a television, computer, phone, your voice box, or even your hands. When we talk about the medium as everything goes through, this is an important concept that can oftentimes be overlooked. But once the message travels through the medium, then it's allowed to go to the receiver. The receiver is the person which gets the message. Their job is to work at it and understand the message by decoding it. By decoding the message, they're trying to figure out exactly what the sender was trying to say. So if a sender holds up their fingers like in a circle and two fingers up, the OK sign, it's up to the receiver to pull it apart. To make sure that the receiver understands it, we have feedback. Feedback makes this a continuous cycle. It allows the message sender to understand whether or not the receiver really got the message. If they didn't get the message, then they can try again. So for example, a teacher will ask, "Did you get this?" One of the things that can prevent the receiver from fully understanding the message is this idea of noise. Noise is everything that can interfere with the communication process. It impacts everything. We can have noise on every single level of which we communicate. And that's why it's so hard to really communicate effectively. The seventh part is the environment. It's acknowledging the idea that we change our way of communicating based on where we're at. So for example, you communicate differently at church than you would if you're sitting at a basketball game with your friends. You're not going to scream and shout in church, and you're not going to say the same things that you would say in church as you would at a basketball game. The last part is known as these circles, and they're poorly drawn, but they're called the area of knowledge. This acknowledges this idea that we all have a different background, and our background can shape what we understand. We have to realize that everyone is different. So you may be a music fan, but when you start using terms like pianissimo, forte, vibrato, things like that, someone who has no idea what music is going to be completely lost. So you're going to have to adjust what you say. So our area of knowledge truly shapes how we communicate. And by understanding all these parts, we can begin to better communicate. And that's why you'll need to know everything on here, from being able to draw, label, and completely understand this model.